Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to episode. Nine. Thank you. 9. That's not even a joke. Sorry. 9. Episode 9. Yes, of chapter 2. There's just so many amazing episodes. You know how it is. Hello, my name is Jay. You probably know that. I'm the Dungeon Master. We're gonna play Dungeons and Dragons, covering the basics here. And how are you? How you guys doing? I'm getting worse at intros the longer we go.
Mm-hmm. They're just devolving.
It just reflects the mood. We're trying not to die here.
Kings of improv.
Maybe you guys could help me with something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Please, enlighten us.
So I was thinking about, all my favorite artists. Why does Madonna always use silent and still spells?
Madonna.
Something like a virgin.
Good effort. She's a material girl. This is a very specific gameplay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a very deep.
Wow.
D&D
I was
pull
stuck
right
on
there.
wait,
Not
I
your
want to
best
watch.
performance.
I want to watch Madonna play D&D now.
Yes, so when she does play D&D, in fact, that was just for the joke, because she doesn't really use still spell either, because she prefers to strike a pose.
Oh.
We weren't
I'll
done.
see y'all
Yeah,
next week.
I gotcha.
It's a two-parter.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. Last week,
There we go.
a fierce battle took place as the Grey Tide was assailed from all sides by massive tentacles of an undead kraken. The captain, First Mate Weng, and the Elbow, and the rest of the crew performed powerful and cohesive battle maneuvers and magic as the party tried to keep pace and help defend the ship from the onslaught. It was no small struggle for you all. The beast's tentacle grabbed Kins by the leg and flung her off into the sea. Just yeeted. Just gone. Jeshy went way overboard, nearly sank from the weight of his plate armor. You fought well, though. Kira, in particular, executing an important defense against a massive attack on the central mast. Vin, you found your footing and caused significant damage to the Kraken as you sent bolt after bolt flying through the air. It was Belrissa, though, that made the huge play when she summoned a strength she didn't know she had and stopped a tentacle from taking an iron-bound chest from deep within the ship. Shadow poured from her hands as she fought the will of the Kraken and prevailed. The beast was defeated for now, and it retreated back into the sea. There was barely time to rest, though, before a shout came over the ship, alerting the captain to 3 ships on the horizon. The crew is tending the wounded and making what repairs can be done. In less than 2 hours from now, the battle will commence once more. So what's the plan?
I just need to get healed. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm just like, ouch, ouch. Though, Jeshy, you did heal me for quite a bit. Thank you.
I would like a Jeshy. Is there any more of those going on?
So, Kira, you are currently being tended to by a halfling woman with kind of
Yes.
curly brown hair.
That's
and,
right.
She is able to, through a series of combination of what looks to be healing salves and spells and bandages and whatnot, she is able to heal you. And as she's tying a bandage, she looks over at you and she kind of like, she's got this she's kind of got a moderately wrinkled face, kind of been out in the sun most of her life, kind of. She says to you, "That was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. By the way, you're lucky to be alive. But nobody survives being on this ship long unless they're willing to give it their all. So you're off to a good start, I suppose."
I suppose I should thank you for both the healing and the kind words.
Yeah, well, I don't have an unlimited supply of bandages, so try to get, less bloody next time.
Can promise that, Miss.
Just call me Charming Susan. And she steps up, rips the thing out of your hand, and walks off.
I wish she gets the name.
Kins wants to
Kins.
walk up to. Oh, sorry. Hi,
No,
Jesse.
how are you doing? Where are you going? I'll follow you around.
I want. I want to go find. Johns likes us, right? Did you hear?
Oh.
Did you hear? Wang talk about. I mean, we don't have much time, and something bad is about to happen.
I didn't hear Wang talk about John's. No, I didn't.
Oh. No, wait, what?
I-
No,
I think I was
he
in the water.
No, it was when we came back on the ship, and then we killed the thing, and then Wang
Oh,
was.
you died for a second.
I did. Oh, maybe I didn't hear that. Never mind. I just want to know what's going on.
I brought you back like.
But for the rest of us that were definitely alive and conscious and absolutely paying attention, if we were to have recalled what was said, Kins, what would we all recall? Not you, but the rest of us.
It was something to the effect, and someone who wrote it down can correct me.
Sure.
Of Wang saying to the captain that
Yeah.
he was right.
Yeah.
And so it seemed that, and so that's how we knew that there was going to be more coming our way.
Okay, I can
Yes.
follow you if you want to go talk to them then.
The captain said that this was no random attack, and that the ships would be upon you by nightfall.
Yeah, let's go talk to the
Yeah,
captain.
let's all go talk to the
I mean, I
captain
think-
and see.
Belrissa,
what's-
have you
Kira,
filled us
come
in
back
on
here.
what happened down below?
Nope.
Actually,
I'm not.
while you guys
Not
are
even
doing
the
that,
chest? You didn't even tell us about the chest? I'm not saying the crazy, spooky arm stuff, but
She's gonna keep whatever's in it, so no, she hasn't.
before you guys go talk to the captain, Belrissa, where are you kind of right after all of that has happened?
I mean, I'm walked back up, I guess. Yeah. I mean, the elbow wasn't giving me any information, so.
No, and he kind of left
that's right.
Oh, although is the chest a bike alone?
Oh no.
So
Am I alone with the chest?
No, you're not. There's a few other guys. Basically, before Thomas and before Thomas left, you guys all kind of moved the chest back into the area where it was before it got ripped out, and you can see that there's a handful of guys down there trying to repair what's left of that kind of wall that blocked in the armory and everything that was in there. And as you are kind of walking upstairs, Thomas, who had already left, he kind of peeks his head down below deck, and he says, "Captain would like to see you." And he just kind of...
Okay. I stare like longingly at the chest and go upstairs.
Aw.
Like, what is in there?
Loot.
We're gonna steal from our own ship.
Larissa, as you
Not
go
our
up on the main deck, you can see that overall the ship has definitely sustained some damage, but the crew did a pretty good job of deflecting most of it as you are walking towards the captain's quarters, and you can see Thomas is there, and he kind of opens the door for you.
I wanna cast prestidigitation on Kira as I pass by her to clean her up a little bit.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
excellent.
Just she's looking a little.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be leaning against the boat, and
Covered
is there
in
any? Do there any
nasty.
sensations that I feel when that happens that I could just
Kind of like
you know,
goosebumps, I imagine, like
Okay.
as your disheveled hair just sort of like straightens itself
Oh,
out a little
just
bit.
gets-
And the kraken,
and
the
teeth.
zombie kraken guts kind of like rinse out magically.
I'll just look down and watch that happen and kind of look up it and see. I don't know if you have to do anything with your hands to do that, but just if it's very clear that it's you that's doing, just kind of look at. Thank you.
Yeah, give you the nod. I look around like, is anyone like, are any of my peoples also going to the captain's quarters, or is it just me?
Seems to be just you.
Okay.
Do we see her?
Where are you?
I mean, on the deck somewhere. I was
Center
Center
ship.
ship.
That's what
No,
we said.
where my token is
Please
Near
refer
the-
to diagram 1, exhibit A.
that's
Yeah.
right.
We do have a beautiful diagram.
On the starboard side towards the aft section, I believe. But,
Whoa!
you know,
What?
yeah.
Someone did the homework.
I think you can just say words. It's fine.
Yeah. the right backside. Like that's yeah.
Vin, as you are as you're kind of getting up, you're brushing yourself off and you're looking around. You see Wang walking towards you. And he says he comes over and it looks like he's carrying just a couple of, like, he's got a bundle of rope, and he's got, like, under the other arm he's got some planks that, you know, are being distributed for repairs. And he walks over and he puts it down, and he comes over and he kind of throws his arm around your shoulder. It's like his signature movie. Like, every time he talks to you, like, throws his arm around your shoulder, and he kind of, like, points you out towards the sea, and he goes, "Vinny, old boy, do us a favor and get that brace tied off proper." And he kind of releases his arm, and he's pointing over at a rope, part of the rigging that is just, like, loose, and it's like the sail is just, like, kind of flapping. And he reaches down. What do you do?
I'm actually gonna walk over. So I don't know what I would tap into here other than like whatever kind of elvish meditative state that I do instead of sleeping. So, but I am kind of, you know, I know something's going on. I know something's going on with whatever was placed inside of me. But so far I haven't had any ability to control when those memories pop up. So I'm just going to try to kind of enter into like a meditative state and see if I can't hear, sense, feel. Like I can see undead, right? Like I could still see Rin. So like I'm trying to kind of tap into that part. And
She's here?
No, not here.
Oh my gosh!
She just follows
I almost had a
Benjamin.
heart attack.
She just wanted to
I
sleep
can
where you
see
sleep,
her.
you know? She was lonely, wanted to sleep where you sleep. So.
Oh no! Wow.
But anyway, because yeah, and just see if I can't tap into something and specifically figure out what in the world I'm supposed to do with this rope thing I'm walking up to. So, you know, it's just kind of
Yeah.
the slow walk, stretching my shoulders a little bit, eye and everything. Yeah,
I want
okay.
Wayne to look
just-
at you going like,
just
just
this internal, like,
Just-
just like, all right, and I'm gonna reach out and try to grab the thing that I thought he was talking about and affix it to something I see on the side of the boat.
Vin, make a perception check.
A perception check.
I was really hoping for performance there. Bummer.
Just duct tape it.
That's a 9.
Okay.
That's a 9.
Cool. So you kind of walk over and you pick up the rope. So the brace is basically one of the main ropes that goes up to control the direction.
Everybody
of the
knows what the
sail,
brace is,
and,
you know. Yeah.
You know, he at least pointed to it, so you kind of had
So,
an idea of where to go. So you go over and you grab the rope and you're kind of like looking at it, and then for the first time you're paying attention. You're trying your damnedest to like see or feel or hear something, and you don't, unfortunately. But what you do see is you just start going for it. You grab the rope and you sort of you wrap it around a cleat and you kind of pull it, you know, to the appropriate, you know, tension, and you start wrapping it and you tie the bottom of it off, you know, appropriately, and it feels really natural in your hands. The one thing you do notice is that the rope cuts your hands. Like your muscle memory's there, but your skin is not necessarily calloused, you know, to handle the equipment.
Crossbow guy,
Kinda-
don't use this.
But
Rough weapons.
Soft elvish skin.
I just want to push that trigger. I have calluses just on my trigger finger.
yeah,
Yeah.
thick leather skin on your trigger finger. That's about it. Otherwise, dainty, just you know.
Bleeding everywhere all over himself.
Before you can turn around, you hear a voice right behind you, like right behind you. I thought there was more to you than meets the eye. Saw you on the cleats earlier. Couldn't have tied them better myself. as you turn around, he tosses you like a whole bundle of ropes, like just implying, "Cool,
Get to work. Nice.
And as he does, he walks by and he kind of stop. If you can picture this, like he's walking by you, but he kind of stops like just past you. So he's kind of talking behind you, but clearly to you. And you hear a slightly lower voice, and he says, "Bit of a tough performance in that fight, old chap, but we may just find a use for you yet." And you feel a hand on your shoulder. And Wang walks off.
In my head, I pull up my crossbow and just like a fake, I don't do any of this, but just in my head, there's a little hand reaching up with the crossbow. It's
Wait. Are you having like a Mean Girls moment? Where you're like, I know how we settle this in the jungle.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like,
And then I shoot him in my
if
head.
you could see out of my head, and then I just look at the ropes in my hand. I'm like, what the crap do I do with this? And I'm gonna go look for some place to go set them down. I don't just throws up with ropes. I'm just
Bellarissa, you approach the captain's quarters, and Thomas, the elbow arm hinge, is standing there and opens the door. Can't say that with a straight face. He opens the door for you, and what do you do?
Chivalry.
Yeah, I look around a little nervously. And thanks. Slowly walk in.
As you walk in, the captain is over on the far side of the captain's quarters in the back, and he's standing over a table where he's pouring what looks to be a small glass of wine. And he turns around and he notices you, and he says, "Please sit. I'm told we have you to thank for saving our precious cargo. Thomas, you may go. Drink."
Cheers.
Yeah, he offers you one, and assuming you want one, he'll pour you one, and he kind of walks over and hands you. It's basically just a small, little glass of wine, kind of for the moment or whatever. And you guys cheers, and he takes a sip, and you guys have sat down now on the table, kind of in the middle. This is where you guys met the first time, or the first time you had a meeting with him. And he says, he kind of crosses his legs, and he's just super relaxed. Considering what just happened and what may be about to happen, he's very relaxed, and he seems just intently focused on you, Bellarissa. And he says, "It seems there's more to you than meets the eye, young one. Tell me about your power."
Yeah, I mean, you guys aren't the only ones who can, do some cool shadowy things. Did you see my shadow puppy? He was cool, huh?
Perfect.
He says, "I've observed you do a great many things since we left that intrigue me."
Yeah, so I kind of don't really know what to say. Yeah, it's just something I've kind of known how to do, but pick some skills up along the way, and it seems a little similar to what your crew can do, although not nearly as cool. I can't do any of that transportation stuff and going through shadows. Like,
He raises
that's
a
awesome.
hand, and as he does, like a flame, but it's actually a shadow, but it dances around like a flame, kind of appears on his finger, and he starts to just like move his fingers like he's playing with it, like a ball in his hand, and the shadow is just dancing around his fingers like he's trapping a coin back and forth.
I pull up dancing lights. I have a sparkly version of that.
Nice. He says, "You draw from the shadows, like us, but I see a duality in you, a competing influence, if you will."
You see that?
There's no denial at all.
For some reason, all your friends are laughing out on the deck. It's like, what is so funny out there?
Good joke, Kins.
I know. Madonna, right?
What do you see?
He says, he basically just he closes he like reaches out and grabs it and closes the fist. Just you can tell this is just a habit, like a fidget that he does kind of while he's talking, and he crosses his arms and he says, "There is much I can teach you, but now is not the time. I have a gift for you." And he reaches over and there's a small box on the side. There's like a little side table. He opens it up and he pulls out what looks to be a little vial with a chain attached to it. And he kind of wraps it and he hands it to you. And he says, "It will help you control your power, to focus it." And he hands it over. And he says, "Now go, check on your friends. When everyone is at a minute to catch their breath, bring the group back here, and we'll discuss the plan."
Well, can we talk about what's in the chest then as well? Because I really want to know. I mean, I did save it for you.
He stands up and he puts his hand behind his back and he kind of walks back over and he's just looking out the back, kind of not looking at you. And he says, "I would appreciate it if you kept the chest between us. There will come a time for that, but it is not now. Dismissed."
All right. Thanks for the necklace.
As you walk out holding this
about the chest?
this necklace, it
it's a
is pulsing with magic power, Belrissa.
I just immediately put it on as soon as I get out. I don't know what it does, but it seems cool.
It's got to be good.
No investigation, just
The shadow magic
Yep.
guy gave it to you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to post what it is in Discord in Sparrow's
Yes.
Corner. This is a... I guess I can't post that. Wait.
In our secret one.
Secrets?
Secrets.
Yeah.
For now.
oh,
Yeah, sorry, wrong channel. I will post it over here.
It's an immovable rod?
So it's a necklace.
Temporal
She's
cog.
stuck here.
You can just click the
Yeah.
button and just hang there.
the
Just
captain
like-
gave me his rod.
Rotted you. Get a rod.
Wow. That escalated quickly. All right. Belrissa just walks out like, okay.
Oh dear.
Some deep breaths. Boy, the
This
darkness
is
is,
a,
strong with that one.
Belrissa, do you want to read what this is? Or I'll
Yeah.
explain what it is unless you want to read it.
Wait. Let me pull it up. Ooh,
Yeah.
the Bloodwell
I've seen
vial.
one of these.
It's good. Blood is good, right?
Yeah. All right. To attune to this vial, you must place a few drops of your blood into it. The vial can't be opened while your attunement to it lasts. If your attunement to the vial ends, the contained blood turns to ash. You can use the vial as a spellcasting focus for your spells while wearing it or holding it, and you gain a +2 bonus to spell attack rolls and to the saving throw DCs of your sorcerer spells. In addition, when you roll
Wow.
any hit dice to recover hit points while you're carrying the vial, you regain 5 sorcery points. Ooh, yes. The property of the vial can't be used again until the next dawn.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's
goodness.
magic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I mean,
I
you
may
got
or
put
may
blood
not have-
in it, so I'm not into it, but whatever.
See, I
You do
thought
need to
about
attune
you
to it.
I do.
didn't write that
last
down.
time I saw that item, Belrissa. It's like, oh, she would love something like this.
I like it.
All right, Kins, how
Yeah.
are you feeling? We're kind
I-
of resting here. Jay, would you say that it's like of a certain duration?
2 hours is
Yep.
what they said.
Yeah.
A short.
So
Like,
so
can we
it
recover
was.
some things?
You could do a short rest. Yeah.
I would like to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
For
There's enough
kings.
time. There's enough time to do a
Yeah.
short rest for sure.
Do we need to roll hit dice, or do they fix us up with their like bandages and stuff like that, or do you want us to actually use some hit dice? Or does
I
that
would
matter?
say that unless anybody. No, I think the crew would be able to patch you guys up. I don't think you need to use your hit dice.
I'm down about 24.
Yeah. So Belrissa, as you head out, and also Kins too, you're sitting there, and Jeshi did Jeshi heal you to full?
43. Yeah, so I'm 9 down.
You're 9 down. Okay, cool. So Belrissa, as you exit the captain quarters, you realize that you're actually got a few scratches of your own, and over on the starboard bow kind of area is Kins, who I imagine you're kind of hanging out over there with Jeshi. And there's a guy there who's helping you out, and he's basically an older human. He looks like he's probably in maybe his 60s or maybe even early 70s, but he goes by the name of Sawbones, and you've heard him called that. And he wears like a long, dirty kind of like almost like a doctor's coat, but it's like it used to be white like 100 years ago, and it's far from it. And he's bald on the top. He's got like gray hair, kind of on the sides, and he's just got this real kind of weird look to him. Wears big Coke bottle glasses, and so he's come out, and between him and Charming Susan, they've been kind of going around and tending the wounded.
My new friend.
And he kind of walks up to you, and as he goes over like he's making a beeline for you, Kins, to help you out, and he stops and he looks over, and you hear like and you hear this noise, and you instinctively look over, and there is a piece of tentacle, like maybe like 12 inches long, just like crawling across the floor, trying to like
just say that he was eating it.
And he completely loses interest in you, and he walks over, and he pulls out what looks like a long fork, and he just kind of like stabs it, and you just hear like, and he holds it up, and it's like wriggling on this fork, and he goes over and he starts turning his glasses, as he's looking at this thing, and he's just fascinated by this, and he says, interesting. Oh, and he takes this thing, and he just puts it in his coat. He like opens up his coat and like stuffs it in a pocket. And as he walks over, his coat is like writhing and like wriggling, and he doesn't even seem to care or notice. And he just walks over and he goes, and he looks over and he adjusts his glasses once more as he's inspecting your wounds, Kins, and he says, "Oh yes, stop your whining here." and he pulls out what looks to be just a clump of like some kind of plant. You have no idea what this is, and he just hands you like a pile of loose leaves. He goes, chew this to a fine pulp, and then keep it in your cheek for the next hour. You'll be fine. Now leave me be.
Are you saving that for dinner later? And as I like gesture towards his pocket.
Does not hear you. You do not exist. He's fascinated by this thing you just found on the deck as he walks away.
This is the ship's weed dealer. You just found him.
/ Oh my gosh.
I think we might have made a rash decision to get on this boat.
Yeah, like anybody
No
else thinking like
questions, we're
a
just-
trip through the desert might have been a better choice than taking the boat down? Yeah.
I just turn around and I'm like holding these leaves awkwardly, looking at Jeshi. Like
Let me see them. Well, let's study them together. Who's better at nature?
I think I probably am,
you, 'cause
but
it's int-based. So let me help
okay.
you. Can I help you look at this?
sure. I
So
would like to look at these leaves
like
closer.
with advantage.
Okay. Yeah, you could help. You do a help
Yeah.
action. All right.
Yeah.
Make a nature check with advantage.
Okay, let's try.
Are either of you proficient in nature?
No, I'm a
Negative.
druid and I'm not proficient in nature. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
City
it.
druid.
Isn't it like automatic?
Oh god, 14.
14. Okay. It's green. It has an aroma to it that reminds you maybe of like a basil or like something you would cook with. And then as you look closer, you swear this is just a normal like herb, like. But I don't know. I mean, he's the doctor. Who knows? You have no idea what this is.
Jesse,
Yeah.
I think we can cook with this. Like, I'm fine. I don't need to heal. Like, I think we should save this, and then
You should
we can,
rest though, because you can.
Oh, I'm gonna rest. He told
transform
me to
again.
chew it up though, and I'm like,
Yeah, I wouldn't chew it.
Oh,
I
really?
wouldn't chew it. No, it looks like a bay leaf.
Oh,
I'm gonna pop it in the soup though. I'll take it.
okay. Here you go.
All right, thanks.
As I just ignore this guy's help.
just like,
Laying down health so that Jessie can make soup later.
No, take your rest.
No, I'll take my rest. I'm just not gonna chew it. We're saving it just in case we need it.
That is the most on-brand thing for you two to do, ever. That's ever happened. Not take the heal so you can make a soup later, someday.
Later.
You're making
I'm not gonna
like
chew on this thing.
There's 3 ships.
I could just sit here, right?
Here, take half of it. I'm gonna
Okay.
take it a little bit.
I will like tear
dosed
the
it
leaf
wrong.
in half and I'll stick it in my mouth. What does it taste like? Does it taste like a basil leaf?
It tastes a lot like
Does it
basil.
taste like Robitussin? No. Medicine.
It definitely has a very herbal flavor. to it.
Dimetap.
Dimetap. Okay.
All right, what are we doing?
Kira is it has risen off the deck. She's starting to feel better, especially after Belris's like magic shower, whatever that was. That was great. And I don't know. You said it washed the goop out of my hair, my clothes. So I'm just
Basically a little magic shower, yeah.
Yeah, magic shower. Feels good. So I'm going around, and I'm actually I'm very resourceful and not used to having a party just yet. And so I'm going around and pulling my arrows out of tentacles and wood all around the ship, inspecting them and then putting them back in the quiver. These are still good. These are still good. This one's trash. We'll snap that one, throw it overboard. This one
After a
looks
few
good.
minutes, you hear a clank, and a couple of arrows like roll up at your feet, and you see Johns, who's been like just helping you out. He kind of walks through. He's been like, just gives you a nod and kind of just giving you a little help there.
Thank you, Johns. That's very nice.
I saw what you did. It's good.
Thanks. Yeah, it's not every day you get the opportunity to go on a little tentacle ride all the way down the center mast. That's for sure. Have you ever gone for a tentacle ride, John?
We're still at it. It's good.
I mean,
Johns just starts laughing for some reason,
yeah.
It's a good joke.
but he's way
I
too
don't know.
mature to be taken in by your.
This is the
jokes.
serious
And
crew.
I'll come up to you.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Everyone saw what she did. It was awesome. But we gotta regroup here, Johns. We've been on this ship for less than 10 hours. We're gonna have to figure out. It looks like we're about to be attacked for the second time. What have you gotten us into? I'm gonna hold you personally
Whoa.
responsible if the kids die.
Jesse.
Yes, Kira, yes.
I think the lad's, he's a bit shook up like the rest of us. We'll just, we should probably ask maybe someone of a bit more rank what the plan is. I don't know if John's is the best person to be verbally assaulting, asking for the
I'm gonna
plans
try
and
to
why the ship's in
signal.
trouble.
I'm gonna try to give just a signal to Kira that it is time to execute maneuver Alpha. Good soldier, bad soldier.
Oh my gosh.
I will acknowledge this signal.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
I think we should get the captain involved because John's lied to us.
Well, I don't know if he lied, John. Did you lie to us? I mean, really, I'm sure we can. You've not lied to us, have you, John?
No, I didn't.
So you would be willing to go under a zone of truth?
Zone of Truth.
Yes, have you heard of this magic? I have it. I'm very powerful.
He's very powerful. No, but John's, if you've got nothing to hide, there's really no problem.
Thomas, hey, need help with that? Yeah.
All right. See ya.
Perhaps later.
Oh my gosh.
So
I'll sneak
captain?
Jessie a little knuckles.
I'm getting
Did
better
that
at
leaf
this.
heal me at all? Sorry, I just want to.
No, you're
Half of a
poisoned.
leaf.
Your halfway leaf that you chewed on
Did
for a
you
couple
did you
minutes?
chew all of it or just the one half of the leaf?
The one half of the leaf.
No, nothing
Oh, dang.
happened.
One half of one
And
leaf.
that
Okay.
people taste
He
shit.
gave you like a huge bundle of leaves, and you're like,
roll some hit dice.
I know that's what I was going to do if I didn't need to, then I was gonna do it. All right, we're
Jay, is
fine.
someone healing me, or do I roll hit dice?
Oh, the captain already healed you.
Oh, that's true.
yes, you would have
Here,
been
Belrissa,
healed
chew
by.
What is this?
Just-
Will it make the next battle more fun?
You'll be way more relaxed. For sure.
Oh gosh.
All right, give me him.
Just firing off like spells.
Are we all okay? Is everyone okay?
So wait, was that a yes? Yeah.
Charming Susan at one point or another will come up and heal you, Belrissa.
Okay, and I'm gonna do some
Yeah.
sorcery
I mean,
point
okay is a-
conversion.
The only
rest
reason
things.
I'm
That's a-
actually pursuing a short rest is for the secondary effects. For myself.
That's like a relative question, right? I mean, we were just attacked by an undead kraken.
No, I'm saying we
Like,
got problems. I'm
I'm
saying
not
we gotta
okay.
huddle
It didn't
up.
even die. It apparently just got bored and left.
It's already dead.
Like, yeah.
It's
Then
already
you definitely
dead.
don't seem okay then.
It's true. It's mostly
Technically,
dead.
it's already dead.
I don't even
You're
want
the
to think
one who
about what
told
would
me.
happen if it ripped the mast in. We could all be capsized
I
right now.
agree. That was amazing. Because I went into the water and I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
for a second, guys, if
that
this
not
thing
great?
would have grappled me, I'm not sure I would have gotten out.
Yeah. Should I,
didn't even see where
proactively
the
put water breathing
tentacles
on you
ended.
before the next?
Actually, that's a
Ooh,
great
that's-
idea.
Not a bad idea, actually.
Not a bad.
Because
I
I,
mean,
saw you went way out there, and I do
I-
not swim as fast as you fly.
like
That
maybe
is
every day,
accurate.
Kins. Maybe just every day, just
Forever.
throw water breathing on us, like while we're on this boat.
Wake up, water breathe.
I mean, it's
I would like to
Oh my
request the Kojin blessing for the entire party.
Blessed.
Just permanent.
Just permanent.
Yeah.
Permanent
Okay.
one.
Nice.
Do we have a strategy? I feel we need to be compact on these people. We are out
Well,
of our
Hold
element
on,
here.
hold on.
What's
Do we,
happening?
do we actually know they're going to attack us? Has their intent been made? Could we have been fired
We
upon?
know,
So
I
it's
don't
gonna
we
be-
know.
should go
Nobody
talk
tells
to
us
the
anything.
captain.
The captain
Who
said he
knows?
would talk to us after we all had a little like
Oh,
breather.
hey, Belrissa.
Sure, we
Oh,
know you
hey.
like that.
Where you been?
Well, Rissa, did you see me get flung across? And I
Did
told
you
Let's
flew
get
so
to,
far? I was
Not all of us get to
sad.
hide below deck and then go visit the captain in his quarters. You know, where some of us are out here.
Oh, you went to the
Oh.
captain's quarters?
I watched her walk in there. She got a private invitation, and there's
Oh.
Captain Elbow just opening the door
What's
like
that thing around your neck?
like he's a bellhop or something. She didn't even tip him.
You did come out with gifts.
Okay, look.
that?
What's
Present.
going on,
Look at
Belrissa?
that
You
pretty
walk
necklace
into the.
around her neck. You see
Someone
that?
has a favorite.
So the captain just invited you to the quarters and gave you jewelry while we're out
Yeah,
here.
yeah. I mean,
We are bleeding out. So
are you
it's
are you
fine.
are you jealous, Kira?
Of course, I just spent the last 15 minutes with charming Karen or whatever her name was. Let me tell you something. She is not very charming, not at all.
Kira, something tells me you're not very
John
good at
says that.
names, but it's okay. We can work on it.
Well,
Sounds
you know.
good.
So you're going to tell us what happened with the captain and his little necklace bit there? What's
It's
that?
just a little shadow magic stuff.
Shadow magic stuff, like what the captain has.
Oh yeah,
mean,
like
I
that
do too.
fucking fiery
I do,
hound that
you
you
know.
made.
Right. So it's not, but he
Did
didn't
you
give you a
see?
dog
Did you
treat.
see my shadow hound?
Yeah. Yes, I saw it.
Did
The
you
dog
like
was
him?
nice. That was a good touch. Yeah.
Thanks.
So he just wanted to say a quick thank you for the doggy. Was that?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
Well, I slid down a tentacle riding a tiny knife. Maybe he's got something for me. I should probably go over give him a visit.
you
I
could.
blessed him.
You should go ask. Yeah.
Oh,
I cast bless on him.
You did.
This is, I would have cast it on Kins, but she was,
Yeah. I was just, taking a swim.
We're
It's
there.
fine.
The scientific term is yeeted, is what I found.
Yeeted. What a
She'd
strange
been
word.
Yeah.
Oh, since we're here, I'm just gonna cast water breathing since it lasts 24 hours.
Tight.
So.
Last
Sounds
24
like
hours.
really
Yeah, that's why Vin suggested once a day, and I
What
was like,
spell,
okay,
what
yeah.
spell level is
Perfect.
it?
That's
Perfect.
Third.
Okay, well, I don't know about every day.
You never know.
I can literally like bring people back from the dead at third level spells. I mean,
Because
I
you
need some
have how many
diamonds.
diamonds
any
do you have?
diamonds?
How many diamonds do you have?
Anyone
None.
got any diamonds?
No, you don't
Half a
have any
diamond? A third a diamond?
Yeah, I got a little diamond.
Yeah.
Not
Hey,
big.
Phil, Richard's got a new few diamonds. They're hanging around her neck, little dingly bits there. What?
Hide it.
Diamonds?
Yeah, no, just-
Puts it away.
It's nothing.
As you guys
Let's go
are,
see-
are
let's go see
talking,
this.
you see come up from below deck a man that you haven't seen before. He's a water genasi, so he's got kind of bright blue, almost borderline translucent skin, and he's got long black dreadlocks that are kind of tied. It's just like a huge head of dreadlocks that are kind of tied back behind his head. He's got tattoos all over him. He's mostly like he's wearing very little except kind of like some shorts, and he's got what looks to be a set of tools kind of strapped around his chest, super ripped, and he kind of walks over to the side and he just dives into the water.
Oh.
Whoa.
Should I have cast water
what
breathing
is
on
going
that guy?
I'm
I think
assuming
he's
that guy
okay.
does the underwater repairs. He
Oh.
seems
Oh,
specially.
yeah.
Oh, that sounds
How did
cool.
we miss him? How did we
I don't
not
know,
see the
man.
blue
Maybe he
water
was
guy?
doing
only been
underwater
on board for
fighting.
Oh.
24 minutes.
Oh, perhaps, yeah. Although, do you
We've
think,
been here
were they
almost the whole
dreadlocks or
day.
tentacles?
there's
Did anybody
like-
get a good look?
New people
not
every day.
tentacles, no.
I think dreads.
They were dread. There was actually hair. Okay, just making sure. There's a lot
What?
of. They're kind of thick. I just want to make sure we're not dealing with something like a squid head. You know.
It'd be like
Maybe he's on the night shift.
No, that's
Not doesn't get very much sun then. It's always all. That was all paid.
might dry him out, maybe.
No, that's a genasi. We met some in
We did.
Portsmouth.
Don't think I was around for that.
No, you weren't, but they made this armor. Look at this.
Oh, they did. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Let me look at
yeah.
your little holes right here. I think it's gonna be hard in the water to grab them on, but I just wanna.
Well, yeah, maybe study where they are. But honestly, look, I am feeling, pardon the pun, completely out of my depth here. So, I think we should go in, talk to the captain, get some answers.
I think the
For
captain
crying
should
out
tell
loud.
us lots
First
of things.
of all, I tried to negotiate for good quarters, and I'm sharing it with all of you. That seems outrageous.
Very true.
It's,
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. It's not a big
Okay,
ship.
so we'll go visit the captain, talk about strategy, talk about where our Christmas gifts are, and then maybe they're hiding in the office.
Really, I
somewhere.
just want to
Yes.
know why he expected that Kraken to be followed by these ships.
That's a
That's
good
what I'm
question, actually.
I was healing Kin, she almost died. And
Yep.
all I'm hearing is that he's like, oh, Captain. Wang's
Right.
like, Captain, you were right. Here they come.
Or maybe it's backup.
Maybe it's the Silver Admiral.
It could very well be, actually. That's
Maybe
a
it's
good-
the
that's a good-
Bronze, some other rank.
So,
The Bronze Deckhand.
Dude,
Golden General.
Definitely a villain.
The Bronze Deckhand. That's
Yep.
John's.
But if it's the Silver Admiral, I thought the whole point of the Admiral having the alley cats around was so he could walk around on land and be
It
safe.
could be the cats, yeah.
I don't think the
thought-
cats were on the ship.
I
so
thought
they were
the
land
cats were
creatures.
on the same side as the captain and the. Aren't we?
Wait.
I
Was
mean-
the Admiral
This,
higher the
look,
cats
this
than
whole
frigate?
conversation, it's just evidence.
we
No
don't know.
answers, people.
No
We
clue
just
what's going
jumped on
on
this ship, ready to roll. Yeah, we gotta
We gotta
Organized.
ask
How did Johns
specific
go?
questions.
yeah,
John's-
we're
He does
walking.
Very
not
dodgy.
like me. The captain does not like me. Somebody else asked the
Oh,
Well, he
yeah,
apparently likes
Belrissa
Belrissa.
should. She's
Yeah, let's just let's go
I
start
could
this
pop a quick
conversation.
zone
Yeah.
of truth on her.
Marissa, did he happen to tell you anything else about what's going on here?
No, he was waiting to tell all of us together.
Oh, good. Then
So-
we have the invite
Let's
in.
go.
Let's go.
And Jesse, don't
Well,
cast
I mean, he
magic on
didn't-
him, please.
Don't
I mean,
make
no.
sure that he's telling the truth.
No bad soldier.
Okay.
We're
Of-
not right
So
now.
don't do an insight check.
I think he was
I
going
mean,
to come
do
out
an
to
insight.
us, but
Sure.
You were in there for quite a while, not talking about anything. Not that that's a problem, but
I mean, what's there to tell?
I can respect a woman who keeps a secret.
It's a Rikenen's brother. This is what Jesse is thinking. Internal.
All right.
All right, let's do
Let's
this.
walk up.
All right, you guys walk in, and as you approach, the door is closed. You give a knock. You hear, "Come." You guys walk inside.
So
And,
Thomas doesn't hold the door for the whole party. Just
No, he's not there anymore. He's he's out and about cleaning up the mess.
Wait, Jay.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's a cat situation.
Oh, a cat situation. Okay.
Hey,
Ziggy
alley
has
cat situation.
Ziggy hasn't been in the show for a while, so
Yeah.
Ziggy doesn't fight
Hey.
Ziggy needs
fire
to pee on
kraken,
people.
and now he's peeing on people after the fight. Just leave Johns alone. He doesn't deserve this.
Oh my goodness. Well,
okay.
All right.
Oh my gosh, she killed Ziggy. She's done it again.
just pocket dimension away.
Natural one.
She came back way too quick for a conflict resolution other than death. That was feline murder.
He'll come
Any
back.
kind of plan going into this? All right, let's just go.
Let's just
Okay,
talk
let's
to him.
go. We'll just go.
He's been forthcoming.
He's fine. He's cool. He's fine.
Okay, you.
Come.
Go first. Go first.
Here, I'll open the
I
door.
push Orson forward in front of me.
It's great to see you. See, you've made it out of the battle without even nary a scratch. Handsome as ever.
He turns, hands behind his back. Thank you all. I know that it was no small feat that we just overcome, but all of your efforts, they were tremendous, and just kind of nods.
Have you ever fought something like that before?
I was going to say the crew
Vin
seemed
said it
pretty
was
familiar
undead.
with lopping off tentacles and all that.
Undead tentacles.
Right.
You are no strangers to battle, but the things this crew has fought would give you nightmares.
You know, I don't really have dreams, but I'll
And
take your
actually-
word for it.
Buzzsaw or whatever, he put a bunch of it in his coat and walked down deck, so I'm not really sure what's going on there, but I don't know if
Just
he's
kinda-
hungry.
Furrows his brow for a sec, like,
Sawbones.
and he just goes, "Fucking sawbones." Not again. No. Yeah.
Captain, we're all pleased to make it out of that battle alive.
Yeah, I almost died. Just gonna
Yes, and
be
Kins
honest here.
is. She doesn't know any magic. She can barely handle anything.
Which
Important-
means I need protection. No. It was unexpected for me. I'll just say that.
Instead of inviting you to sit at the kind of two seats in the place where you were before, he actually walks over behind his desk, and laid out on the desk he appears to have a chart, and he beckons you over.
Is it the one I stole?
It doesn't look like it's the same. It's more of like a local kind of area, like a note-taking chart. It's not like the big ones, but anyway, he's got a handful of it's almost like a war room type of situation where he's got a couple of little things that he's kind of using to demonstrate like the ship's position and kind of these other 3 ships that are coming in. And he kind of stands there, and he says there are 3 ships. The leading ship is the Needle, captained by a man named Thread.
That makes sense.
What is up with you? Okay.
Great names.
They're very direct with their naming.
Yes. Yes, it's very cute. As he's about to talk, and he's interrupted by a shout that comes from behind, where you notice Kira, the window that you once climbed through in the middle of the night is open,
Nice.
and you hear a shout, and you just hear, "Captain!" And he says, "Yes, Melvin." And he says, you just hear the voice, and it kind of sounds like it's coming from down in the water. He says, "Have we got a limp?" "Aye." "Copy that." And he turns back to you. And he walks over and he closes the window, latches it, comes back over. He says, "You may have noticed that the ship has begun to drift. At the moment, they think the gray tide is disabled and dead in the water. Their intention was to disable this ship, and I mean to make them think they've done it. I'm counting on them to press that advantage headlong. I expect Thread will come in hard and fast, and when they do, we'll be ready with a counterattack." Kind of looks across the lot of you. "My crew and I can handle the needle. Your job is to handle its captain."
That's
Okay.
a specialty of mine, actually.
So,
Are you gonna-
Cut the threads.
does the thread have any weaknesses? Scissors or sharper
Oh,
things?
switch. Maybe you're like.
What about the other two ships? Are they gonna flank? Do you have expectations for them? Or we're just gonna take out the lead guy and we'll be alright? Because they're cowards.
Tell them.
Are you gonna teleport
And
us onto their boat?
He turns with his back towards you, and he's looking out the window, and he says, "I mean to make such an example of Thread the Hammer that the other two won't come anywhere near us for 1,000 leagues." You
Not
can
the way
see
you
his
Leagues.
chin rise as he's saying that.
Kira would like to know if, through her 6 months of pirate assassinating, if she has ever heard the name Needle or Thread, and if there's any additional insight she might be able to provide.
Yeah, make a, let's see, make a, usually I do intelligence check for this one just to kind of get like, what's Kira's intelligence score?
Base 14.
Base 14. Okay, yeah, that's above average. That's pretty good. So, I would say make an intelligence check. I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you advantage on this because of spending all the time
Oh no.
just to see what you remember.
A double advantage or
Could I roll a history check?
What'd you roll?
9.
A 9. Okay. I'm gonna say that.
Nope.
You've pro-
Exhausted from fighting.
well, no, not necessarily. I mean, it's not like you rolled a 1 or something.
That's true.
You have heard of the Needle.
Okay.
It's a very fast ship.
Okay.
That's about it.
All right.
That's all you remember. You remember. I mean, you've definitely been in conversations where this ship was mentioned. Like it's a ship that is known. The name immediately rung a bell. But all you remember is it being super fast.
Okay. Team, I want you guys to know something. In the time that I was out dealing with a bunch of pirates and since I've been gone, I'm actually familiar with the Needle. The ship has been involved in many conversations around pirate life, whether it's on land or at sea. And I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that it's a fast ship. And that's it. So I hope that helps us with our plans to go after the captain of that ship. But I just thought that was very useful and important to mention for no reason in particular.
You hear the
Thank you, Kira.
captain speaks up when he
Sure.
hears you say that, Kira, and he says, "Aye, fastest ship in the fleet. At least it was while the gray tide was presumed somewhere at the bottom of the crystal abyss. And he turns back towards you and he says,
Just keep saying names.
he turns back and he says, but not anymore.
So is this a pirate ship, or is this the guild, or
Whose fleet? exactly?
yeah?
So when he refers to the fleet, he's from previous conversations, you would know he's referring to sort of the overall pirate fleet that is led by the Silver Admiral.
Got
that
it.
he is,
Gotcha.
for all intents and purposes, a part of, even though he's in the middle of being attacked by them, which is kind of like this whole situation, right? Like he's
Right.
coming back from this mission, apparently from a place known as the Crystal Abyss, and things have gone weird, and he's suddenly being attacked by ships in his own part of his own fleet. So
Captain, why are you being attacked by people you know? It's fine. We're on your ship. We're taking your orders.
I mean, it's.
But it's been less than a
question.
day. You seem to have expected this. It would have been nice to know. There's only one thing I take seriously, and it's the safety of these people. So are we gonna live through this or not?
It's actually all starting to come together. You've been gone for years. You've been on the run.
I've not been on the run, and I don't know why the fleet is hostile, but that's where we're going to find out.
No, I don't believe him at all.
And
And I would like to see if Jesse
Sure.
also believes him. Or does not. Oh, what the heck? It didn't come up. Oh, there it goes. 17.
Yeah.
17. You actually don't get the sense that he's being evasive or deceptive here. He kind of says, you know, if you recall your previous conversations, he left because the influence of the guild in the Bay of Bones was growing to a point that made
Right.
him uncomfortable. So he took a mission in the north to go do something, which he's kind of been clear that is none of your business, you
Right.
know, until it is. On his way back, like he's been gone so long that things have changed, and he's not sure why. And he's,
So I will say back to him, Captain, I actually believe you, and that makes me more uncomfortable. I would have preferred you to be a liar. Traveling with no knowledge out on the ocean, it'd be enough to fight a kraken. That thing is undead. Are we dealing with undead? Because it's kind of my specialty.
He says, son, remember the world you live in.
Yes, I know the world.
We're always dealing with the undead. That one in
Kraken.
particular, though, he says, there are certain captains amongst the fleet who command the loyalty of beasts of the sea. One in particular who commands them above all. That thing is what just attacked us. And he says, where's my notes? He pulls out a spyglass and he hands it to you, Jeshi. And he kind of gestures to the window in the
I walk
direction
over.
of the ships.
Okay. I look through the spyglass at the ships.
As you look through, there's one ship that is way out ahead of the others, like a mile, 2 miles, like ahead, like way fast.
Closer
just
to us.
cruising on its way to you.
Okay.
behind it are two other ships. One of them is a much more of like a warship. The one in the front is a lot. It's not a lot smaller, but it's definitely leaner and smaller. You also notice about the ship in the front. Actually, make a perception check. We should do a check here.
Oh.
Natural 20
There we go.
Natural 20.
for 20.
Yeah, for a total of 20.
Okay. So, you walk up to the window and you're able to look out in the direction. You see the three ships. The one in the front, which is clearly the Needle, is careening towards you guys, going much faster, full sail, just bearing down, cruising. You can immediately see that the speed of that ship relative to the ones behind it, much, much, much faster and way out in front, like not waiting for them at all. But the ones behind it are... Actually, before I say that, the other thing you notice about the Needle sticks out to you. It has jet black sails. The hull of the ship is dark, almost as if it's been painted black. And every bit of rigging and wood and the cannons, even the attire of the crew, everything is dark, either dark gray, charcoal gray, or black. And it matches perfectly the description of the two merchants that you saved from the lifeboat near Portsmouth. Looking beyond the Needle, behind it, you see two other ships. One of them is a much kind of fatter, kind of sunk deeper in the water, a warship, just lined with cannons on all sides, like dozens of them. It's just much larger and more armored. You can see that this thing is built for war, not for speed. And you can see it's got a full crew, just, armed to the teeth.
I
And then-
mumble under my breath.
And then, not
like
too
that.
far from it, you try to look at this ship, and as soon as you zoom, as soon as you focus on it, it seems to shift and move, and the shape of the ship itself seems to be moving as tentacles are writhing up and down across the ship, and kind of just the ship itself almost seems alive. And standing at the helm
Oh no.
is a creature the likes of which you've never seen. It has purple, rubberish skin and tentacles of its own kind of writhing down from the bottom of its mouth. And it's wearing a purple kind of blackish hood that's pulled over, and it's standing tall at the helm with one hand. As you look, it's got this kind of almost like squid-like hand and fingers that are wrapped around the helm, and the other one at its hip near a long near a long sword, as the Illithid, or the Mind Flayer captain, stands at the helm on its way towards you.
Oh no.
I just heard Lynette exclaim from the
I'm
other room.
muted. Yeah, I'm muted on this.
Do I know this creature?
Oh no.
Make an intelligence check, Jeshi.
Oh god.
Natural 20. That's a good look.
16.
16.
Good rolls.
This is a creature out of Nightmare, Jeshi. You've heard, like, this is you read a lot of stories. You're not like, you've got relatively low intelligence. You're not like a bookworm, but you love stories. You always have. You're always writing your own stories, keeping journals, and this is a creature that you recall from one of the books in Great Haven. It's like a creature out of a child's, fairy tale nightmare book, and you're seeing it here, as the undead kraken tentacles seem to be writhing around the ship itself, as these two things are moving.
So obviously it's very far. Would you say that I have reason to maybe attempt the other spyglass that we have to see if these if there are any undead people. I mean, given the Kraken, like, is this guy also undead?
I think
Or
you
he
would
just
probably.
look like an illithid?
I don't think Jeshi would go there.
Okay.
It's really far, and I think you'd have to have a miracle roll to see anything.
So-
in that scenario.
Very good.
Can you, are you exclaiming any of this to the group so that we can?
So far, I've been mumbling, "Oh
Okay.
shits," and what the fresh hell is
Great.
this?
Just a couple of shits and good.
I pull away and I hand the spyglass back to the captain. We got 3 ships, one jet black, out in front. That's the Needle. It's coming right at us. Absolutely massive warship, flanking it to the behind. We do not want to get flanked by that thing. It'll rip us apart. The monstrosity from hell that just attacked us is friends with the 3rd ship, which is captained by an illithid. Have you heard of that?
I would like to know if I've heard of it.
Yeah, same.
I'll tell you what I know about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, for the sake of brevity, that you've all heard of this.
We've all heard of this.
Quick.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh dear, not the illithid. A term I'm
I u-
intimately familiar with.
I
They
used to have
will
nightmares about
mess with
those
your
things. Yeah.
They're nicknamed Mind Flayers, Kira,
Nice.
and you have to be very strong of mind to fight against them.
Okay.
All
And-
right.
What,
I can protect
knowledge
us.
of creatures, does that come from nature?
It depends on the type of the creature.
Would this creature be considered a nature? Jack?
No, not really. This one's more of just a kind of a humanoid type race. So this would be more just kind of general, like, what do you know about the world type of thing.
And are they born, like, or are they created?
Make an intelligence check.
It's really hoping for nature, Jay. Just saying.
You should have Kira be the nature person.
It's a 13.
13. Not sure. I mean, this is a creature like, like the things that come to mind. You don't know a lot of detail. Here's what you know: extremely dangerous. Like, don't get in a fight with this thing. Wow, like this is a thing out of
Wow.
horror stories. Like, this is not a thing normal people fight. Under any circumstance. Like, this is hero stuff. That's kind of what comes to
Captain?
mind.
Okay.
Did I miss anything important? How are we going to defend ourselves? We're going to take out the Needle. What about the other 2 ships?
Right. If that 3rd ship's captained by an illithid, and you think that by dispensing of the Needle's captain, then that beast is just going to turn around, tuck tail, and sail in the opposite direction, have you lost your mind?
He interrupts you towards the end as he turns around and he says, he's not upset or anything, but he's just clearly interrupting you on purpose, right? To shut this down.
That shit.
And he's just got this very calm demeanor. And he says, "Do you have any idea who you're talking to? Do you know what this ship can do and what my crew can do? Did you not just witness it for yourself? Did we lose a single man? You are under my command. We're going to be fine. Now listen up." He says, "Now, we're waiting for the Needle to get close enough. When it does, we will initiate we will initiate our counterattack." And he pulls like a weird leaf out of his mouth. He's like,
How'd that get there?
terrible. These things are disgusting. Didn't even heal me. Says, "When the time is right, we'll initiate our counterattack, and that is when I need you, by whatever means available to you, to board that ship and capture and kill Captain Threadhammer as quickly as possible."
Which one would you prefer? Was it captured or killed?
I'd prefer capture so you can kneel him in front of me. I wish to make him explain why he spent the past few months pretending to be me, sullying my crew's reputation around these parts. I wish to hear it from his own mouth. But
I mean,
if you have to kill him, I won't shed a tear.
like, does his crew not care about him? It seems like there might be more than just him on that ship.
I
Aye.
suppose. I mean, if they detect us at all, then surely it's not the first ship we've snuck aboard, is it?
True, but they're probably expecting us. I mean, I assume they're going to be out on the deck, and he'll be right in the middle of them.
I can assure you the crew will be plenty busy. Whether it be by stealth or by brute force, that is up to you. Kneel the captain
Captain.
before me. That is your mission.
He doesn't teleport, does he? Like y'all do.
Also, can you teleport us onto the ship when we're close enough?
That would be the fastest. most
Or
efficient
Wang.
way.
That would be good.
Quite nice, actually. Yeah.
I'm quite powerful, but I can't
Or,
do that.
or him onto this ship. I mean, like that.
That's an idea.
Both good options.
really,
He says,
really
he looks down on the table and he grabs what looks to be a small bronze bell and he just ding, and he gives it like a ding, kind of, and he puts it back. He kind of, there's like an awkward pause, silence for a second as the door. Yes, Captain. It's Wang. He kind of walks in.
Hmm.
Oh, hello. Shadow Captain looks at him and he says, if they need to move quickly, you're to be at their disposal. Dismissed. Door closes.
Thank
And
you.
he, and he looks back at you and he says, I'll get you close. From there, it's up to you. We'll have enough trouble on our hands. Can I trust you with this?
We got this.
Aye.
Yeah, we'll probably use fireball.
Yeah, I can't promise capture, but
He might die. I mean,
He'll probably die.
I can stabilize
Oh,
him.
whoa.
try our best to bring him
So
back here.
presumptuous you've all become in your.
I was
in your
gonna say we're
jaded
not
adventuring.
assassins, but this won't be the first time we've gone on an extended mission to kill someone.
I mean,
either,
some
so
of us
I
are
guess-
assassins.
Aren't you literally an assassin?
Do we? Yeah.
Asking is for just, an effort. That's all. It might be fun to watch him grovel in front of the captain.
We'll try.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need answers too. If we're going into the bay and that's where the admiral is, like, we need
Definitely
answers.
need
So-
information.
Right, but going back, can Mr. Thread do magic things?
Mr. Hammer.
Yes, that's
Throw
Like
a
just
hand.
anything
know.
we should know about? Like, does he have shadowy things?
Or will he be able to block any of our magic?
Yeah.
Like, what are we
What-
getting
what do you
into
know?
on his ship?
I mean, if he impersonated you, I'm a little concerned. I'm not gonna lie.
Just a bit.
He says, there's not a ship in the fleet that's incapable. Thread's a dangerous man. But so are you. That's why you're here. I trust that you can take care of this. I wouldn't be sending you into something I didn't think you could win. But put your best foot forward. Be ready for anything.
Aye.
Dismissed.
Captain, one last question. Is the Illithid the Silver Admiral? Or is the Admiral
raises an
at the
eyebrow.
bay?
He says,
That's a really
you speak of Hanaka, captain of the Octalion. She's the one who sent that foul beast.
Yes. I gathered as much, but she's not the Admiral. Okay. Very
No.
well.
No, son. If the Admiral were here, you'd know it. Now, rest up.
That's ominous.
Prepare yourselves. And
Yes,
he,
very good. Okay, thank you.
just kind of goes back to work. You're expected to leave at this point.
Okay.
I'll elbow Kira, be like, presents. Do we have presents?
Kins, I don't think there are any presents for us.
You should.
Maybe after we
Likes me
kill
very
his
much.
enemy.
You should ask him. You're not on his bedside.
Okay, maybe when we bring back the guy.
You bring it back.
Okay.
It could be a trade, like a dig of
Something.
barter, where it's like, I'll bring you your prisoner, but you got to give me something for that.
I heard rumor of a good cheese. I'd be interested
Sure.
in that.
Oh, the cheese is good.
All right, I'll leave. I'll go
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
heading
also
out.
gonna leave.
Do we have still a little bit of time?
Yep, you got about an hour.
Okay, so I would like to. This is part where I want to ask permission for a specific trick arrow.
Okay.
One that would basically utilize magnets. I guess it would be.
How do they work? Nobody knows.
Oh my gosh.
We have some of those just sitting around. Just some
Okay.
Are magnets not a thing?
No, please explain. Carry on.
Okay.
Finish your thought.
Because I'm trying to hear some rules here. I'm not trying to just make stuff up out of thin air. So the tip of this arrow.
It's magic. You can
It's
make
a-
up
it's a-
whatever you want.
okay, that's magic. Sure, whatever. It's a hollow shaft that the tip of the arrow breaks apart into magnets that could act as binders because they would find each other after they broke apart again.
Oh my god.
To do what?
It'd
Yeah.
be like an arrow meets a bolo. Almost.
Okay, I'm halfway there. Okay, so you got an arrow, and the tip, when it hits something, it explodes into magnets.
Well, that are all linked by like a cable, like a fish line.
Okay,
kinda
okay,
like
yeah.
of
That-
Cabling.
Got it. Okay, fishing line.
okay,
Lots of that
okay.
in
They
Portsmouth.
break apart.
Yep.
They find each other
They-
again. They bind.
I'm getting
whatever.
closer to, yeah.
So-
I like it.
And then so they explode, and then
Right. Right. And they bind back onto something.
with the intention of.
Capturing an individual.
Like
or
a claw.
Like a net.
Oh, yeah, like
Oh, okay, so big,
Like an entangling
big
arrow.
magnets.
No,
I
no,
mean,
but
they could be really small, very magically strong magnets.
well, like a boa. You want some way to just like trip somebody up and tie their feet together or something. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you
Doesn't
can
have
So
to
just
like a
like
boa.
grab it, but yeah.
Doesn't have to hurt them.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Let me think for a minute. Let's carry on with other things while I.
Yeah, yeah, it's meant to restrain. It's like the entangle spell.
I told you I would tell you what I wanted to do.
It's like the entangle spell.
I have a notebook. with these
So
written
what I'm
down.
looking
glad I
for-
get to use this one now.
I'm looking for something too. Like after that last fight, I thought it might be nice if we had some type of like grappling hook tied to 10 or 15 feet of rope, just in case we get thrown off of a ship.
I know a guy who's great with knots.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we all know that guy.
Is there any such thing on the ship? That's what I'm asking around
Yeah.
for.
Did
Like,
you make it?
Make an investigation check just for the sake of looking around, see what you find.
all right.
I think you would presume there's obviously rope
16?
everywhere. 16. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, you're able to find. We'll say you find the quartermaster who's able to kind of assist you with getting what you need, and you're able
We can
to.
get a couple. I want Jessie to have one,
Okay.
and then I was gonna have one too because I'm pretty
All right.
sure.
We'll say you guys
Alyssa,
have
kids can both.
I can fly.
grappling hook with
Or
50 feet
come
of rope
out, you know.
attached.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have this. I would say have this maybe close to hand. Whatever we.
Yeah,
Go
I'll
on this
hook it.
battle.
There's a lot of really neat
That's right.
kind of accessory holders on my new armor, so I
Yeah.
just
Just throw it in there. Your utility belt. Yeah.
Yeah.
correct.
How are we gonna grab him though?
I propose we beat the pulp out of him, and then I'll stabilize him when we take him.
Okay.
I'm not sure we're in a position to be like, maybe in the moment we'll sense that he's very weak, but if he's weak and alive and he has magic, he still can use magic. But
Yeah,
if we
so-
can take him out, we can maybe just stabilize him.
I'm hoping they can teleport us back onto the ship, like really, like as soon as we get him, and then we can just go. To the
I'm
captain's quarters.
assuming that they're going to grapple the ship somehow. I don't think we're going to be fighting at range here. I think they're going to try to almost grapple the ship.
But
By the
speed
time
may
we've-
still be effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we can just grab him real quick. Somehow.
Well,
Or maybe
you
you
could-
can transform.
Yeah,
and
you
take
could just eagle and fly him back over, if
I
need be.
could.
Golazon.
Golazon. I don't
Our-
think I can be a
our
giant
first
seagull, but it'll
delivery.
be like a variation of Golazon.
It's a giant eagle with gull colorings.
Close enough. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, so you know.
So we're
Hey,
not going to
anyway.
fire one of these giant. Look at these things. These
Jay-
like, crossbows on the side of the ship. I was really hoping to shoot one of these at that boat.
I mean, you can probably do it right before we set off. You just like shoot it.
If we
That-
aim right at the captain, we can, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be like
Just
looking
skewer
through
him.
it. Yeah.
Just
One shot him.
Sneak attack or surprise.
It's like one of those. It's like a quest
it
in an
grabs
MMO
him.
where you've already got the turn in before you get the quest.
Yeah.
You're just,
We're just waiting
and
to
the
turn
NPC's
it in.
just like, oh, okay, great, cool, yeah. You do it.
Skip through the
I
dialogue.
need you to climb the mountain and retrieve the
Yeah.
faithful
Yeah.
jewels.
So real quick, I just did a little quick prayed to the Google gods. So in this list of 100 different arrow types for D&D,
Wow, that's
this
a
might
lot.
make
Oh, man.
more sense. This might make more sense. The binding arrow, designed to explode on contact with a sticky goo that hardens almost instantly. DC 15 strength check to break. Can be used to stop or hinder movement.
Done. Works
Cool.
for me.
Great. Okay.
That makes more sense than dozens of magnets.
Magnets are cool.
It was really cool.
Can
It
we
was cool.
flavor
I was
it?
actually
Super
gonna.
creative.
I was going with something. I like that idea better. But
Okay.
but the
Can we
whole like,
flavor
okay,
it that we're
there's 36
using-
magnets all intricately tied together with a fishing line, and they
And they're
somehow
really strong.
explode in a human shape, and it's just,
No, I wasn't. It's not like I don't mummify them with one arrow. That's not. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like 2 or 3 cables that like wrap around somebody's ankles and trip them or something.
clearly
You know?
sticky goo that hardens instantly, surrounding the entire person.
little
Way
bit.
more, way more normal.
I mean, I
Sure.
think it just
Yeah.
maybe yeah.
Here,
okay.
I have something for this. I bought it from
You have the
Barabas.
goop?
Yes. It's a
You
honey.
bought
It's
my
it's a
goop?
really sticky honey.
Cool.
It's like
Oh
it's
my
like
gosh.
very very yeah. No, here, have it. I'm not sure like
Thank
I
you.
can
This is
cook with it.
perfect. This is exactly what. And don't touch it. Though. It's like poxy. You'll get on your
I'm
skin.
not
You
gonna
close
touch
your
it,
fingers
I'm
up.
not gonna touch it. I do use it like resin to get for the hammer. And,
Nice.
Uh,
Okay, so at least it's got a counter. That's probably what's needed when I make suggestions like this. Is it needs some way for the target to escape from it, right? That's the
mm,
okay.
some kind of DC.
yeah,
I'll keep that in
material
mind, yeah.
cost.
all right.
There's also something called the gossip arrow in here that I'm definitely going to find a way to work into this campaign.
Oh,
Like a listening
that
device.
sounds interesting.
Yeah.
All
It's
right,
like the
friends.
ears.
I'm
We
ready.
can all breathe
Yeah.
underwater just in case.
We can all
Right.
breathe
Let's hope
underwater. That's
that
very
we don't need
helpful.
to.
Oh,
Okay.
We
we
have a
could do the whole
signal-
Sea of Thieves thing where we just jump off the back, and then whenever they sail past us, we climb up the boat real quick.
Ah,
Yeah.
sneaky.
That's what I was thinking we should do. Let's do it.
I mean, there's probably sharks in the water.
I mean, I guess-
I was
Things
telling
undead.
Josh, my co-writer earlier, that is in Sea of Thieves. That is the most efficient way to take out a ship. Is you either launch someone out of the cannon to
Oh, that sounds fun too.
to get over to their ship, or you somebody jumps off the ship and waits till and then they hide underwater, and then they they climb up the back stealthily and just take out the crew.
There's no chance of missing.
Or you
and
just
ending up
circle each
stranded in the
other for
water.
like
Awesome.
2 hours, occasionally hitting a cannonball shot. All right, so you guys get ready. We're gonna go ahead and take a short rest.
Yes.
We're gonna say that happens through this time. So if you have spell slots that you regain, or abilities that refresh, or hit dice that need to be used, now's the time to calculate those.
And Jay, just about how many binding arrows could I craft during a short rest?
I'm gonna say we're gonna sort of retcon here, because this is something that you brought up ages ago that you kind of wanted to create, and we never got really around to doing it. So I'm gonna say that
Going to
you
the general
have
store and buying
you
supplies.
have 2 of those in your arsenal. Okay.
Yeah, fair.
You're not gonna try to craft them like right now.
No. Okay, cool. That's like more what I was asking. Yeah, like
Yeah.
how many do I have? Yeah. Okay.
Okay. As you guys are, it's the eve before the battle, right? As the sun has completely set, and there's just a little bit of residual light left, and you can the moon thankfully is up high. There's not too many clouds, and you kind of have a nice view over the water, and you can see the silhouette maybe a mile away of the ship gaining on you. Now your ship has not really moved, as it has just sort of been awkwardly circling in the water as the crew, you look around and the crew is sort of feigning like trying to repair bits of rigging, and at one point the Melvin climbed out of the water, with his tool bag, and the ship is feigning being disabled as it just sort of awkwardly coasts around in the water here as the needle is careening towards you. As it gets into a certain distance, there's a sharp whistle from the aft castle as the captain stands at the hull, and the whole crew responds immediately. As immediately the braces begin to tighten. The ship suddenly starts to swing around. You kind of, everybody almost loses their balance for a second as the immediate movement of the ship, as it starts to turn in the water, as the sails catch the wind and begin to turn. And the ship is basically moved kind of not quite pointing exactly towards the needle, but kind of 45 degrees diagonal kind of across its bow, as you hear a familiar voice of Thomas behind you as you're all kind of standing around trying to figure out what's going on, and you hear him say, "You're gonna want to hold on." What do you guys do?
Yeah, hold on.
Hold on to something.
Yes. I'm grabbing the closest rail.
As
I'm
the
not holding on.
I'll also help hold.
I am testing my innate sense of sea legs to see if my body responds properly. Unless all of them are holding on. But if all of them are holding on to something, I will. But if they're not, then I'm just
The
gonna-
crew or
Yeah.
your party?
Yeah, the
The
crew.
crew is
Yeah.
holding
I was
on.
gonna say
Okay,
the
then I'll
party is
hold on to
holding
it. Okay,
on.
yeah.
In
I like
fact,
this. Vin just goes.
as you look around, every single crewman has like bent their knees and has like wrapped an arm around something and is like braced.
Yep. All right. Definitely holding on to something then.
It's like, I got this.
You everybody holds on, and
No. Good.
Great.
the ship slowly starts to it kind of gets into the angle that the captain is going for, and as you look up, you can see that there's a look on his face and a bead of sweat coming down his brow that you've not seen before, as the captain is intensely focused on whatever he's doing. And you notice that he's got one hand on the helm and one on the railing, and his hand has started to swirl in shadow as he looks forward, and you catch a glimpse of Weng kind of up on the stairs over there, and he's like nervously glancing at the captain as he glances back forward. The entire ship begins to vibrate. You can feel the floor underneath you start to like it's coming up through your legs, and you hear this humming, this awkward humming, as you look around and the wood itself begins to phase in and out as your vision starts to go a little bit blurry.
Oh my gosh.
Suddenly, you hear as the whole ship just teleports about a half a mile
Yo!
and reappears directly in front of the needle. You just hear splash, and you hear shouting suddenly from the ship over there Everybody kind of lurches as the ship kind of lands in the water, and the water displaces, and seawater splashes everywhere, and it's kind of like getting its bearings, and or getting it, figuring itself out there as the ship immediately starts to turn to avoid a head-on collision, and you realize that the expert helmsman, the captain, has put you in the absolutely perfect position for a surprise attack, and you just hear fire, and the cannons begin to light. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
What? Really? Oh my god. The whole ship? Holy wow. Amazing.
Dude.
If we don't learn that before we leave these guys,
Seriously, man.
something has gone wrong. Yeah, we've got to learn
Teleport a whole
that
ship?
teleport
Get
thing.
us
I mean,
close.
maybe
You
not a
sagging.
ship, but a person.
I'll get you close. The rest is up to you. He
I
made
know,
good on that promise. That
Yeah, he did.
dang.
Wow.
Wowza.
So many things.
All right.
A mind
Thread the
flayer
needle.
captain, dude, and just
Yeah, I'm not excited
I
about
don't
the mind flayer.
No.
We are not
excited
a
about this
mentally
fight, though.
strong group. I'm just gonna go out and say it. Like, that's not one of our.
That's fair.
You're not
It's
a
just
regular
not-
strong group either.
We're not a regular strong group. Either. We are a very dexterous group.
And
That's
You're not a
charismatic.
strong group.
Yeah.
You're not a mentally strong group. You're not a.
we're just average.
You're a extremely charismatic group and very
and
dexterous.
acrobatic. We should have been.
A lot of
I'm
backflips.
very
A
acrobatic.
circus.
Yeah.
We should have been
Oh,
a
yeah.
Cirque du Soleil.
Circus.
Really,
Yes,
is what
that'd
we,
be our
that's what we
name.
should have done.
Our name should be
This
something
hero
related
gig
to
might
that.
be over. I mean, the circus is calling, but
I
The
will fight
talent
the
show.
lion, but the lion is actually just Kins.
Yeah. Yes.
Excellent. That's the trick.
That's how we do it. Yeah.
good job, guys.
Oh.
That was a lot of fun. I already can't wait till next week to
Oh,
see
my
what happens
goodness.
This is great.
as the sneak attack is executed and the battle commences. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, think about next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yes.
All
we'll
right.
Figure that out.
Well, any announcements? Any you guys doing any cool streams? You guys doing any events? You guys got any YouTube stuff going on? Like, call it out. Hype yourself.
Sold out.
Yeah.
I like Kins have a charity drive coming up.
Sweet.
Hey.
So back in December, I was scheduled to have one that got postponed until now. So
Well,
Very nice.
the incentives are pretty cool, and they are all hyper holidays focused because it's supposed to happen.
Yay! Bring the holiday spirit back.
Christmas in February.
You want to open some gifts and donate to a combination of Children's Hospitals, Human Rights, and Disaster Relief, then the Bungie Foundation would love to take your money and give you a sweet tax write-off for next year.
Awesome.
That'll be on the 26th.
well, then don't you
I'm
have like
fine.
a all-day streamathon or something coming up too?
I have I've got like an all-week streamathon coming up starting Tuesday with Destiny 2, the Witch Queen, coming out on the 22nd. So that will be eating my life.
Pie.
I won't do a 24-hour stream until March 5th, which is the day of the new raid. So that day will be a big long one. I'll probably do 18 hours on launch day.
Yeah,
Ooh.
you know.
Oh,
Just
short.
18 hours. No big deal.
make sure.
Wow. That's crazy, man. That's exciting. But it's like a big expansion. Like, it only
Big
comes out,
time.
what,
Yeah.
every couple of years or something?
They're rare.
I know how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. All right, guys. Well, awesome job. That was super fun. I love these sessions. You guys, I don't know. It's just like every week seems more fun than the last. So really nice job to everybody. And thank you guys for watching. Hopefully chat was fun tonight. Next week we'll pick it up. We'll see what happens. And until then, good luck with your bad plans.